a real athlete.
I am an athlete. I am going to show up and do. Tortured for all of your enjoyments at home.
Okay, here are these heroes now. Broadcasting live on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, Daily Dodge TV, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
MLK Day, nice little 3-day break for us as well. The Dam Sports Show, Wally Lukashenski, Charlie Dern, and Ashley Dobrzinski with you today. And over the last 72 hours, we got a little bit of clarity about who's going to be on the sideline. There's a reason why Charlie Dern is not wearing his Matt LaFleur t-shirt. Fist bumps in the air for Charlie. I know he got his man. He's back again. Charlie, how are you?
I'm good. I'm more so happy that I don't have to wear that shirt anymore. It was starting to get that 5 days of wearing it smell. Even though
you were wearing it for an hour at a time, you were still like, I don't know about this.
We're pulling back the curtain. What if people thought I was wearing it all day long?
I would love that people actually believe that you were just like, yeah, it's like the Lucky t-shirt that's got like the grease stains. It just smells, and you're like, don't worry about it. We're gonna get the white smoke at some point.
Yeah, it's interesting how the tone on the whole situation has kind of changed over the course of week since the Bears-Packers game. Immediately everyone wanted him gone, and then even I've kind of come back a little bit. I'm not fully walking back he's got to go after losing that way, but ultimately now what are we going to do about it? He got re-signed to an extension, and same with Gutey too. So I think there's lots to explore with it, but I don't know. Ultimately, I don't know exactly what it says or tells the fan base and the locker room. Maybe the locker room is different because all those guys are behind him, but it's just kind of a strange process.
It's a unique situation, especially when we'll dive into this too. When you look out in places like Buffalo that have a very similar situation with a very different result in that coaching ranks. After we dive into that today, I wanted to ask about this. Even before we get going too far, last night, obviously, we got to see the Indiana Hoosiers complete what was one of those runs that is going to be remembered for a long time. A team that had 3 total bowl wins in their history, won 3 in the last 19 games to win a national championship for the first time. And I'm interested to know what that does for us here in this area. If Badger faithful took that as you know what? There's a path. There is a path that you can get there at some point, where for a long time it didn't even seem like in the old world that would even be a real possibility for a team to make that jump. Instinctive reactions when you were watching that. What were we thinking there, Charlie?
Yeah, it was definitely a anything is possible kind of feeling. I can't remember the exact quote that Curt Cignetti had, but it was kind of about that. Hey, you can do it. He was at James Madison 2 or 3 years ago now, and he ultimately turned it all around. And it takes one transfer portal class to do it, not necessarily with the guys at Indiana because they're all 24 years old.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other conversation in and of itself, but it ultimately gave me some hope that the Badgers can do it, especially seeing the Badgers schedule next year.
It looks a lot better than it did this year. The Lord knows going into it, we were like, oh my gosh, find a way to get to bowl eligibility. We know that didn't quite happen. But then, of course, we have top 3 plays, and wrapping us up today, we have Who's Hot, Who's Not, where I already have a couple that I'm pretty fired up for as well. But let's dive into Packers talk first. Let's get rolling here on that, because I brought up that the Buffalo Bills did have a similar situation. Sean McDermott had been the coach for that team for quite a long time in his own right, and they kept getting to the divisional round or to the AFC Championship, but it wasn't good enough. They were falling short of their expectations. Unlike the Packers, they decided enough was enough and that they were going to change that head coaching rank. Again, going after what we talked about all last week at nauseum, knowing that LaFleur was going to be back, you sound like you're walking it back a little bit, but where's that sense of optimism, I guess, coming from at this point for you?
Yeah, I think looking at the Bills situation, we talked about how the Steelers situation was a little similar. Obviously, LaFleur hasn't been with the Packers for 19 years, where it kind of just got stale, and we need to just change this up, find some new blood, get something else going here. when you're the coach of the best player in the world, Josh Allen, like, yeah, the expectations are pretty high, and they've given up 30-plus points in, like, almost, I forget the exact stat, but a lot of games that Josh Allen has been there. Like, they just got to figure something out. When McDermott's a defense-first guy, they got Joe Brady in the building already. It's pretty similar to the Packers flipping it, though, like where we have Matt LaFleur, who's the offensive guy, and we had Jeff Hafley in the building, who's the defense-minded guy. It's interesting because I think that it shows you that the Bills are like, hey, it's not good enough what we're doing here. And they've made the playoffs. They've won a game in the playoffs almost every season that Josh Allen's been there, or they were one and done. It's pretty similar. And they said it's enough is enough. We got it. We got to find something else. And frankly, like, that is where I was at with the Packers and Matt LaFleur. Now that we brought him back, like, I'm just trying to rally behind him now, and I'm not fully there yet, ultimately, but this 2026 season is like the biggest prove-it year ever.
And you're going to find out for both of those organizations who made the right call. If either one of them did, if they both did. Not to go down too far of a rabbit hole here, and a caveat, you said best player in the world. Do you think that Josh Allen's better than Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
I love this. I absolutely love this. I didn't know.
He has 2 healthy knees right now, so you can definitely.
Don't do that. I was looking for, like, is he a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, definitely.
I love that take.
Definitely.
Okay, we might be two on the very, very minority here, but I'm with you as well.
I
frankly, if anything, I was banging the Joe Burrow drum until this last year, and I still think he's very, very, very good. But at some point, you're going to have to be able to elevate everybody, even if you have a JV offensive line blocking for you. And unfortunately, he hasn't been able to do it.
Yeah, and of course, like, you don't want to rag on a guy for not being healthy. But he can't stay healthy. When you have Jordan Love, who I would consider a top 10 guy in the league,
I would agree with that.
I think the expectations can be similar to what they are in Buffalo, and I think that this 2026 year, like what we talked about with Wildy, and we talked about it with probably Gabe and Hunter too, like, this year, it now becomes like, hey, if you can't get it done this year, and I think probably what's fair is NFC Championship, because at that point it's your matchup, and it's more of a coin flip at that point. But we got to get something going here. We got to put together 2 playoff wins with Matt LaFleur.
Well,
Otherwise,
it's interesting to bring up the Josh Allen thing and talk about where they're ranked is like quarterbacks, because I think that you're even able to see with Buffalo that even when you have one of, if not the best players in the NFL, there is still such a razor margin of error that when you get to this time of year that you can't afford to fall short on, or you're not going to get that extra step. When you're a team like the Packers and Jordan Love, who's a very good quarterback, but he's not Josh Allen, that margin is even like thinner. And guys like Michael Parsons, where the reason you go out and get him is that you make it more of a balanced team. The defense is going to be able to get some stops where the offense isn't able to always carry the team. When he goes down, you have no margin of error, and right now that's where coaching comes so much into it. And when we're talking about a team now that, yes, they're bringing back Matt LaFleur. Yes, they're bringing back Gutey in the front office. One of the guys that won't be back next year is Jeff Hafley. And it's the defensive coordinator on a side of the ball that took leaps and bounds this last 2 years with him. And I guess, first of all, before we dive into coordinator talk in the next block, for you, when you lose a guy like this, and it sounds like you're keeping Stenavich on the other side, at least at this point, what are you even, we're talking about making changes and get guys in the room that's going to challenge LaFleur. I don't see where that's happening.
Well, something that you brought up to Jason, I believe, or I forget who the conversation was with, but you were like, okay, so obviously they decided a long time ago that they were extending LaFleur. Then there's reports that the conversation didn't really technically happen or start until Friday.
And then we've been heard all over the world for that entire weekend lead up. They're so close. They're so close. So somebody there is getting funneled like BS, and we don't know what it is, or someone's along the line is not being honest about what's actually happening.
And there's a chance my reading comprehension skills have kind of gone down, deteriorated.
No,
you're
a big
bit.
J. You're a big J.
Because maybe I'm just reading these reports wrong or hearing the quotes wrong, to where the conversation, maybe that just means the actual Matt LaFleur talking to them versus his agent talking to them. That could be
They're just funneling paperwork to each other?
Yeah, because I don't understand how the conversation doesn't start until Friday, because ultimately there's all these other decisions that are being made while the Packers are just kind of waiting by to figure things out. Maybe they were planning out who they're going to get at, because Matt LaFleur was very confident and ultimately right that Hafley was going to get a head coaching gig. Who did they plan on bringing in at DC? Maybe that's what part of the conversations in the background was. Like,
we want to wait until we know he's gone or what that's going to look like before we can take the next step.
Right. That might very well be it, but like ultimately, like then let's get moving on special teams. But maybe that means that Bisaccia is back, and I don't know what he holds over the organization. And like
what he holds over the organization.
There has to be blackmail. I need explanations.
There's bodies buried somewhere.
There's reports that the Packers love Bisaccia.
Everybody, I keep saying it on this show, and it goes back to, I know everybody knows I'm a Raiders fan. I talk about it too much, but he was on that team as a special teams coordinator. He took over as an interim head coach, and when I tell you everything out of the locker room is he needs to be our head coach.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to be the guy. And I joke about it all the time, but you kept hearing that cliche phrase, leader of men. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves the man that is Rich Bisaccia. And I have nothing against him whatsoever.
No.
But at some point, it's been like 15 years that we've seen the special teams just be average at best in Green Bay. That's not going to get it done. And it has to be someone in there that is going to get tangible results, not just I love this guy. Mm-hmm. This guy's going to go to war for us. I don't care. We need to, at some point, see the special teams not be a weakness on this team.
I just want to see a punt returner get for like 20 yards sometime.
When they do, not to see that yellow piece of laundry that's on the field so often.
Because, like we talked about too, like it's not his fault that Brandon McManus, missed 3 kicks on last Saturday night. Like that's not his fault. I get that, but the rest of it isn't good. There's holdings. It's dirty all the time, and at some point, it feels like there just has to be like higher standards in Green Bay than what we've had the last 7 years under LaFleur, where we're just every year not necessarily underperforming, like 13 wins the 2 seasons with Rodgers and LaFleur. Like that's great. That's awesome. But ultimately we got nowhere with it. I was 9 or 10 years old when we won a Super Bowl, and we haven't been back. Not even like we haven't even gotten back there.
I mean, sorry, I was trying to do math about the age gap here. I was doing 9. I was like, he's in, 3rd, 4th grade right now?
That was, 2010?
Gosh, yeah, I was sure you were jamming at Green and Yellow Lil Wayne feature that came out, rivaling the Wiz Khalifa one, of course.
That was awesome.
Where were you when that happened?
Fly like a cheese stick. I remember that instead of fly like a G6.
I remember you telling me about this a couple weeks ago. I still haven't I got to dig that. That's going to be a homework assignment for me, is I'm going to go back and listen to whatever that song is.
Well, and our song this year didn't work out. The Jordan Love song. I can't believe that.
I forgot about that.
Can't
already.
believe that didn't pan out.
Well, and then poor whatever Packers Rey Mysterio is no mask anymore.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. I completely forgot about that. I haven't seen anything about the mask off.
I haven't either. I saw stuff like from that night from Bear Mysterio, but unfortunately I have not seen any on the other side. Hope he pays his debt. We just got to figure out his new mask. Maybe he can wear a Kane mask or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Well, Hunter seemed like he had no idea about it on Thursday.
Well, he's a diehard wrestling fan. That's what confuses me.
And how do we know he's not Packer Rey Mysterio?
That's probably what it is. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. That's why he's always, I'm actually a Cowboys fan. He's Clark Kent right in front of our eyes. We might have to pester him on that. But the other one that we're talking about, obviously, Rich Bisaccia is back, or we at least at this point, we presume he's back. Stanovich is back. The offensive coordinator, where I loved at the time where Wildy was at least saying, hey, you know what? If you are bringing LaFleur back, you have to have some people in there that are going to challenge him with new ideas. And right now, you're keeping the 2 coordinators that are responsible for the sides that you need to see some growth and change. And simply it hasn't happened. And those are the 2 guys? Those are the 2 guys that are going to be back on the staff. I don't know how to make any sense of that, especially now that LaFleur does seem to have a little bit of, extra leash because he signs this deal. It's going to be hard to move off after next year unless something terrible happens again.
Maybe I should get an Adam Stanovich shirt.
Maybe that's the next step.
Because it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing with our Vatican.
The white smoke
metaphor with the white smoke. They haven't said whether or not Bisaccia and Stanovich are back, and I won't blame Adam Stanovich for our 21-3 collapse against the Bears. But ultimately, yeah, I completely am behind Wildy on the idea of, like, we do need to bring someone else in the room. I don't think it's Mike McDaniel or some of these bigger names, but I do think that there's someone out there that's got to be able to come in and either raise the bar or just kind of bring in some kind of culture of toughness that clearly isn't there right now. Bill Callahan, the Packers' old offensive line coach, he just signed with the Falcons today. He was a guy that people wanted to bring back into the room to just do something, raise the bar a little bit, because the offensive line play ultimately, like, I forget the new Dolphins GM, but the Packers guy who went there, he said it when he got down there. We need to be tougher, and it starts with the offensive and defensive lines. The Packers desperately need to get better on offense and defensive lines.
Well, especially if you're bringing a guy at OC that you are not assuming he's going to call plays. That's where it's a different kind of candidate that you'd be looking at. Where I go back and I think of guys like Bill Callahan, not Brian Callahan, where that's his father. He's known as one of the best offensive line coaches in the entire NFL. And he followed out of Cleveland. He went with his son down to Tennessee. And it didn't work out for a multitude of reasons with that regime. But everywhere he's gone, the offensive line play has been phenomenal. And when he leaves, Cleveland fell off a cliff this last year. A guy like that would have made too much sense for me. It's just, again, something has to change. By the way, devastating development. There were no Adam Stenavich shirts out there. I'm sure we could clip art and make one together for you. Mm-hmm. I'll get going on that before we go into next year for you, Charlie.
Yeah, we'll get Ashley to put something together on Canva.
Yeah, well, you wait until you see our top 3 plays of the week this week. Nice. We got it all dialed up. This thing looks good, so make sure you're watching on the YouTube out there on Daily Dodge TV, and make sure you see that. Otherwise, we'll have that on our socials coming out. If they're not actually already out now, I think that I always fall apart. I think she puts that right before we go on the show.
They're out.
They're out right now. We hear it.
The voice of God.
I was going to say, that's what I thought I heard. I didn't have her picture up, so I just all of a sudden, I'm like, there was dubs. Where's she coming from?
Yes, I posted them not too long ago.
Okay.
So they're out.
So if you're not going to stick around and watch with us,
Twitter.
make sure you're watching on the socials.
Yep.
All right, I can do that. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to throw it the break real quick, but when we come back, I want to dive into a little bit about the defensive side of the ball, because we know that Jeff Hafley will not be on the staff next year. So what's that mean for the Packers? What are they going to be looking for in their defensive coordinator hire? And perhaps we're going to talk a little bit about what happened last night down in Miami, where the Miami Hurricanes lost a home game for the national championship to Cignetti and the Fighting Hoosiers, and what that means potentially for the future of the Wisconsin Badgers. All that's coming next here on the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN, Beaver Dam, and Daily Dodge TV.
When the really cold weather rolls in, you'll want your home cozy and warm. Did your furnace seem like it was struggling last year? You just weren't as comfortable as you should be? You may not need a new furnace. It's possible that you can keep warm this winter with a thorough maintenance checkup. It's never too late to call Air Care in Beaver Dam. First, they'll see if your current equipment can be fixed. Let their experts make sure you're getting maximum capacity out of your furnace. They service most makes and models, including boilers and hot water heat. Air Care has been serving the Dodge County area for over 40 years and will be there when you need them with a toolbox full of solutions and problem-solving experience. They are the home comfort experts that are big enough to serve you and small enough to care. Go to aircareinc.com or give them a call at 920-356-8860. Air Care, caring for your comfort since 1981.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Attention sports fans. Whether you're chasing the hottest rookie card, that next big autographed sports card, or looking for expert card services, Real Sports Cards is here for you. For everything from sports to Pokemon cards, visit the store in downtown Waupun today. Go to the Apple Store or Google Play and download the Real Sports Cards app for all live online card breaks. Watch, collect, and win from anywhere. Real Sports Cards, where sports fans come to play.
Create beautiful beginnings at Prairie Ridge Health's Birth Center. Our caring and highly trained team will be by your side every step of the way, from pregnancy through delivery and beyond. With flexible appointments and convenient locations in Beaver Dam, Columbus, and Sun Prairie, we are here to support your journey. Learn more at prairieridge.health. Prairie Ridge Health, inspired by you.
The crowd cheers as Team Hunger takes possession. The ball is snapped and they're stopped at the pantry. No snacks, no brats, no chance.
Ooh, I don't know, Jim. You gotta shop local and save at Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly. That's how contenders prep for game day.
Yes, their brats alone are an MVP, perfectly seasoned and game time ready.
And there's the fresh deli with wings, dips, salads, and more, keeping fans cheering at the snack table.
Make the winning play. Shop the pig in Beaver Dam and Mayville or online at foxbrospigglywiggly.com.
Join me, Rich Eisen, weekdays from noon to 2. Now back to the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
If you are looking for a one-stop shop for all things sports cards, head on over to Real Sports Cards in Waupun or check out their app. Whether you're into sports cards or Pokemon cards, Real Sports Cards has you covered. With live break streaming right on the app, you can grab individual cards on the go, be a part of a group, and watch for your favorite players and teams as the packs get open. Go to the Apple or Google Play Store today, look for that orange logo, and take your collection to the next level with Real Sports Cards, your local resource for all things sports cards, Pokemon cards, and more. Charlie, we were talking just a moment ago back here on the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV about the names that are staying, at least presumably, on the staff in Green Bay. But the name we know that won't be back next year is Jeff Hafley, who's the new head coach down in Miami with the Dolphins. First of all, what do you believe this kind of a loss really means for this group going forward?
A lot of it is that leadership that we talked about. Wildy talked about it on our show. He definitely commanded the room. Now he honestly had some results that were tough. Obviously, the 25 points in the fourth quarter. That's not great.
A lot of leads blown in the fourth quarter this year.
Right. That happened all season long, and you can pin some of that on him. I don't pin a lot of it on him, especially when it's the offense played the way they did in the second half.
Sputters out, doesnto do anything.
And the defense is on the field the whole time. It's kind of like the teams deciding to take the ball in overtime or to kick it off.
By the way, how
overtime.
stupid is that?
That's what I mean. You're putting your defense on the field that's played this whole game. They're exhausted, and you're putting them back on the field. That's just and it didn't work out for the Bears. It was a little different in that way, but still, I just hate that move.
Sorry to sidetrack.
No, all good. I'm the one that started it.
Well, what started what? Oh, no, I get what you mean.
It up.
I thought you meant you started this trend. I'm like, I'm all for saying that going forward, by the way. But no, it bothers me so much that we're seeing these coaches now decide to play defense first because it gives you the knowledge of what you need on that second drive. But there's a real-world shot that neither team scores or you're still tied, and then it goes into sudden death. And the fact that no coach has done this yet and said, yeah, we want the ball, because if we do kick a field goal, they settle for a field goal, or you both punt, we have the chance to win. I'm betting on my offense in that spot and going out there to, at the very least, flip the field and put your defense in a good position.
Yeah, 100%. And when it comes to, your defense being tired and sending them back out on the field, I'm 100%.
It makes no sense. Right. I don't know why. With the world of analytics that we're in right now, how's nobody had the gall to go out there and actually do this yet?
Yeah,
Whatever.
Yeah, well, we're analytical guys, that just works out for us. But
that's what people say.
Micah even said it. They asked him about losing Hafley and what that means for the team, and he said, "I just say bring someone who cares about the players. I want someone the players can relate to, that we want to risk it all for. We're in battle together." Ultimately, that's the biggest loss, because it seemed like even these guys that haven't really played much NFL football, they'd go on the field and be ready to die, because Hafley's message to the team was like that, and that the players, for better or worse, were super confident in themselves. We saw Keyshawn Nixon and Rashawn Gary speaking very highly of themselves, but also the team and the guys around them. And I think that motivator is ultimately going to be the biggest loss, especially from what I gather and what I think about Matt LaFleur not really having that to him.
Well, and at this point, too, when you do lose a guy like this, it makes it all the more obvious, Wally, nice job here, but it makes this next hire so important. because that group really was the reason it felt like that there was Super Bowl aspirations throughout the regular season until Micah Parsons goes down. If you're able to hit the ground running again next year, it's going to do a lot for the offense too, where it sounds like you are running it back with the same crew, maybe a couple new faces on the offensive line, but it's going to be largely the same offense next year. Defensively, the guys that are jumping out to me, I know everybody's talking about Raheem Morris because of that connection with LaFleur. He called him one of his closest friends, referred to him as my guy when they worked together about 10 years ago. Those are the names that jump off at you right away. But I always get curious at this time of year too with these hires because you get about the one cup of taking all these recycled names that you kind of know what they are versus going out and trying your hand with a newer coach or somebody that doesn't have that experience. Do you have a preference on what you want the Packers to do? Is it get that established name, that what track record that you can bet on? Or is it, hey, you know what? If we're going to really try to do something new here, let's have some new ideas from a fresh face out there in the cycle.
Yeah, I think the more Packers move would be to get the fresh face and someone that maybe is a little under the radar or like a passing game coordinator or someone
the Jim Leonards of the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, someone like that. And Jim Leonard, from what it sounds like from Jason Willie talking and Willie and Tausch, it sounds like he's not going to. It's all speculation, but it sounds like he might not be a serious candidate for the role. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and they'll still interview him and bring him in and see what he's got. I'd love to have him there. The players at Wisconsin always loved him. Like that similar prototype of really a great motivator, and then also he can really do it with the X's and O's, similar to Hafley. I think that's why Raheem Morris is ultimately my favorite candidate for the role because he's a player's coach. Like the Falcons players, Rams players in the past,
adore him.
They adore him. They love that guy, and he's super motivating for them. And I'd love to have another guy like that in the building, and it makes a lot of sense for him, especially since he's close to LaFleur, and like we've talked about, LaFleur keeps his guys close, and so that ultimately. But there's other names that are out there that are also similar to that.
I saw Matt Sneidman of The Athletic, and he recommended, he had a list earlier today of the coordinators that he thought would be potential fits for Green Bay. And the one that made me kind of chuckle because it feels as Green Bay as anything out there is who else to bring in the building but somebody who's already in the building. Mm-hmm. And DeMarcus Covington. Mm-hmm. And somebody that's already been working in that system, who knows what it's like. He has a relationship with the players. That screams to me Green Bay Packers move. Internal hire, somebody that already knows how this is going to work, and you kind of run it back yet again next year.
Yeah, and I saw that he's not a name that is necessarily under the radar for NFL teams. I think he interviewed with the Cowboys. I'm fine with it as long as let's everyone get behind him and have him be a player's coach. I think they need that really the most right now. Let Gutey assemble the team and get the chess pieces on the board for him to make that defense good again. Frankly, they weren't good especially towards the end of last year, and especially after losing Micah and Devontae Wyatt, and you can go down the list of guys. But that secondary needs improvement, that D line needs improvement, and that ultimately it starts with Gutey. Now we need a guy that I think the players can really get motivated by.
Well, that's somebody that we haven't even brought up a lot in this show so far today, and I think before we transition to what happened last night down in Miami, Brian Gutekunst is back again. And this is a move that I don't think a lot of people are surprised by, but at the same time, the way it's structured and you bring LaFleur back, these guys' fate are tied together. Mm-hmm. And regardless of how this team does next year, if LaFleur's in the building, you'd imagine Gutey is. Did you have any strong opinions about this? Because I like this one, but then I feel like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth because I also was so quick to say, honestly, you have to move off LaFleur after the way the game went.
Yeah, it was a weird situation because, you ultimately, it's hard to blame the guy that goes and gets Micah Parsons, right? You can't blame him for doing that move. When that player's available, you go get him.
You set the table and somebody drops the plate and all of a sudden you don't have chicken wings. It's not the chef's fault.
That's a new one for me.
I'm just thinking out here on the fly. You drop the plate of wings. We don't have wings for dinner anymore. The chef still made wings.
You're right. I wasn't sure if that was a Tomlin quote or if you.
I'm really actually flattered that you would think that Mike Tomlin would say that. Thank you.
It's very inspired by Mike Tomlin. He had a quote similar to that recently. It was the one that you said. If you
got red paint, you paint the barn red.
You're damn right, Mike. Yeah, you're damn right about that. Ultimately, we can do the blame game all we want. But if the players aren't there, the players aren't there, and so. It's tough because now, I guess what I was interested in is if they would have changed that structure. If they would have made it so that LaFleur more so is reporting to Gutey, Gutey's reporting to policy, or the top of the line then. And they didn't. They kept it the same. And I think that probably is better. Right now, like changing it would be, I think that would create more problems than it would like solve problems for the team. Especially now, like John Harbaugh took the job with the Giants, and he is reporting directly to ownership. Same with their general manager, Shane. And
he's like second in the organization now.
Right, and Shane was asked about it, and he was like, "Well, that's just on paper." And like, well, see, now we've already got some problems there. Like now we don't like that's just kind of an unnecessary problem to have within an organization. Maybe it's not going to be a problem in New York and they'll be fine. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we all know about New York football teams is there's no drama or problems that come with that.
100%. And that's probably a GM that's a lame duck GM anyways, who probably shouldn't have gotten his extension. So we'll see how that plays out too. I don't know. But they brought in that CEO type of coach where the Packers have that more coordinator. And we've talked about the differences there and what the organization kind of wants. I still would love to have that CEO style coach that, has his hands in every pot instead of like really focusing on one. But, now I got to get behind my guy. So,
bang on the drum all day.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and I will. I'll get there. We've got a long off season ahead of us. It's an interesting relationship that they're going to have now because like ultimately they are paired together.
Before we go to break, I do want to ask you about last night. So changing gears just slightly here, but looking at the College Football National Championship last night, I mentioned it. You're talking about a historic win in the Indiana Hoosiers, bringing a title back to Bloomington. And I saw Mark Tauscher was even floating the idea out last night, and I wanted to bring it up to you. Does this win and what Indiana was able to accomplish in such a quick period, too, does it do anything for that expectation that you have in Wisconsin and really resetting the bar year in and year out?
Yeah, I think it ultimately the Badgers have to mind their own business a little bit. Let's clean up the house before we start showing it to people. Let's figure this out first. Let's win 8 or 9
Not exactly
games.
Listing it right now.
Yeah,
you're not having the realtor come over quite yet.
Yeah, you're not taking pictures yet and showing everybody look at how great this is, and you can't do that. I didn't have the Colin Cowherd metaphor there, but
that was pretty good. I thought it was solid.
Yeah, we're picking them up on the fly here. It's tough because our schedule is not easy. It's still the Big Ten. We've the conference champions, 3 straight championships.
It just means more here.
That's right. I still think that they should be aiming for that 10-win season. We just won 4, so it's a little just win 6 more next year. You can't exactly say that. I do think that the expectations kind of have to start raising here, and the transfer portal with the new investments that we've been getting, they have been acquiring talent, in a lot of it.
There's reason for hope.
Yeah, and of course we're not in the Big Ten West anymore, where you could kind of guarantee yourselves 3 or 4 wins. The team isn't at that level that they used to be necessarily. But I do think that ultimately it does give me more hope that they can accomplish something. I'm not saying that we're going to win the national championship next year, but ultimately, the bar has to be raised from let's just make a bowl game. It's more so for me let's make the playoffs next year.
Well, you had mentioned as the start of the new year we wanted to hate more on this show, but at the same time, it's also turned into just we're going to eviscerate every coach that's ever been affiliated with college or professional Wisconsin teams on here. But look, when you look at what happened to Indiana, there's a very clear reason that happened, and it's the guy that has been just absolutely being the darling of every sports media circuit in the last year and a half, and that's Kirk Cignetti. And I love Luke Fickell. I am one of the staunchest defenders out there.
Well, now you've got the grin. What are you going to say?
No, my entire point is that I don't know if he has that killer instinct that Kirk Cignetti does off the football field. The ability to be able to recruit, whether it be in-state. We saw an uptick in the transfer portal. That's really encouraging and exciting at certain points. But when you see entire rosters in the portal year in and year out, you have to build that buy-in now with a lot of people that have no idea about Wisconsin football and what it really has meant for 25, 30 years. And it's been fading. It makes this next year, honestly, not trying to be hyperbolic, it's one of the most important years in Wisconsin football history because it's got a ton on the line of where the direction of this program is going to go long term.
Yeah, an actual financial investment in
Yes.
there. Like, it's probably the most money they've put into football ever.
You can't win in $10 million. It sucks to say that's where we're at in the world. You got to pony up or you're not going to win.
I think last year was like 8.5.
I think it was. It was right under what I was saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. And like, yeah, it's tough because like ultimately he got an American team to the college football playoff when it was 4 teams. So like, I think it's fair to be like, yeah, like he should be getting that done there. Man, because then there's kids from Wisconsin that are transferring to Indiana, and it's like, well, what's going on with that? So ultimately, what is that culture? Maybe they're still finding it and working on it. I think watching this Wisconsin Badgers basketball team this year has been really interesting because, like, going into the year, they spent money in the portal and they brought in guys, and it was like they're supposed to be a better team than the years past, where it's been like we've got 1 or 2 really great players. Now it's a better team with more depth, and they really struggled early in the year. Because there's 6 guys that are playing for the first time together. They're still getting used to it and figuring out chemistry, and it's a different game, of course. But ultimately, like every year, it's a new roster, and I think it's really hard to put those together, to assemble these rosters that are so different when there's so much turnover. It takes a while.
It's January 20th, and we're talking about how the Indiana Hoosiers might have changed the prospects for the Wisconsin Badgers football team about a game that was played 24 hours ago. That in alone makes it feel like there should be hope out there in the world.
Yeah, I mean, last season, we had the top or bottom 5 or whatever, however you describe it. We had one of the hardest schedules in the country, in the whole country. And this year, it's not even close to that.
No, it's actually the exact opposite. If anything, it's awesome.
I think we play 1 or 2 ranked teams, or preseason ranked teams. Like, there's no reason that we shouldn't win 8 to 10 games.
Well, we are going to talk about that plenty in the coming months, but for now, we're going to throw it to break. When we come back, we're going to show you the top 3 high school plays of the week from last week, as well as preview a couple matchups coming up later tonight on Daily Dodge TV. That's next on the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
Hey, this is Dan Miller, head bowling coach at Marian University. You're listening to 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
This Daily Dodge News update is brought to you by Prairie Ridge Health. They offer routine checkups and specialty services and inpatient care at the hospital just off Highway 151 in Columbus. Learn more at prairieridge.health.
From the Daily Dodge News Center, I'm Terry Bell. Beaver Dam firefighters were able to quickly put out a fire at an apartment building on Jefferson Street yesterday morning. The fire was contained to 1 bedroom in 1 apartment. The risk of home heating fires goes up during severe cold weather, so does carbon monoxide poisoning. A former officer at the Waupun Correctional Institution is pleading guilty to smuggling contraband into the prison. Luz Naranjo faces up to 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine when she's sentenced in April. Beaver Dam property taxpayers are paying significantly more this year, even though the City Council dropped the mill rate slightly. Mayor Bobby Mark blames the housing shortage for driving up assessed values. The Oshkosh School Board approved a plan last week to cut more than 40 positions. Oshkosh schools are facing a $5.5 million deficit. From the Daily Dodge News Center, I'm Terry Bell.
That was the Daily Dodge News update brought to you by Prairie Ridge Health. They make it easy to get the care you need close to home. Learn more about their services and locations at prairieridge.health.
Hey, it's Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam in Watertown. Our New Year's sale is going strong, and you can save with tons and tons of mattress sales. No one sells Sealy for less than us. Check out our Sealy mattresses, starting as low as $299 for the Winter Green Queen Medium Mattress. That's a queen mattress, a Sealy branded, for only $299. And now our Sealy Posturepedic sets, they start at only $499. Check out the Safa Park Firm Queen Size Mattress for as little as $499 for a Sealy mattress. Or our Sealy Posturepedic $999. Take your pick. This Hagerstown Queen mattress, it's an awesome mattress, and you can take your pick from a plush, a pillow top, a firm, a medium, or a soft for as little as $999. Get a purple mattress and earn $300 Slumberland cash with any purple Restore mattress. Nectars are up to 40% off of any mattresses, and save big with bonus cash for up to $300. Save big with our 36 months interest-free financing. So shop local, save big with us during our New Year's sale going on right now at Slumberland Furniture.
On top of the world or bouncing back, there's no better time than right now to take care of yourself. Marshfield Clinic Primary Care helps you stay on track with recommended screenings and annual visits, or simply connect on your overall well-being. And if you find yourself in need of care quickly, we often offer same-day appointment options. Marshfield Clinic. Enjoy life with confidence. Explore appointment options today at marshfieldclinic.org/primary care.
1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV are proud to be South Central Wisconsin's spot for local high school play-by-play. High school sports fans are passionate, loyal, and hold on to a lifetime of memories. You can be a part of those memories and build your business's brand along the way by partnering with us to sponsor high school sports. For more info on how you can become part of the excitement, leave a message at 920-885-4442 or click the Contact Us tab at dailydodge.com.
Are you aware of who's making your healthcare decisions? Hi, this is Dr. Adam Forster with Columbus Family Dental. Healthcare is a very personal thing that requires careful thought and planning. These choices should be made by you and your doctor, not an administrator or an insurance company. At Columbus Family Dental, we're a local, doctor-owned clinic, which allows us to put your health and well-being first. Call us today at 623-5559 to schedule a free, no-pressure consultation to see if we're the right fit for you.
For continued coverage of your local high school and pro sports teams, spend the weekday 4 o'clock hours with the Damn Sports Show, presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun.
And welcome back to the Damn Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. Wally Lukashenski, Charlie Dern, and Ashley Dobrzinski with you this Tuesday afternoon. And because we weren't here yesterday, we have to show you guys today our top 3 high school plays of the week. Momentarily. Your top 3 high school plays of the week.
Number 3. Jalka punches through the zone. The floaters score it, and the foul for Emma Jalka.
Number 2.
Glenn, and Michael steals the inbound and gets fouled. Adeline Michael stepped in front of Glenn, and she got fouled, and she'll shoot 2.
Number 1.
On Romano Thompson, his third. Team fouls are even at 4 apiece. Younger takes the inbounds pass, spins into the lane, lost it through a double team, then he got it back, puts it above the glass, and there it is. Isaiah Younger with that bucket with 6:22 to go in the ball game has joined the 1,000-point club.
Huge shout out to Isaiah Younger getting into that exclusive 1,000-point club and a huge couple wins last week for the girls basketball team. Again, you can go out there and watch on all of our socials and check out that top 3 for yourself there as well. As we look ahead now to what's coming up tonight, and that starts over at the BD Family Ice Center as the Beaver Dam boys hockey team looks to bounce back as they welcome in Monroe. That'll be Wade Bates on the call with Justin the Ninja Wilski over there for that one. Again, at 6:45 Daily Dodge TV, and then puck drop will be around 7 o'clock. I know the boys are going to be fired up to get back out there. Been a little while trying to figure out, gotta get some more goals tonight. And it goes back to that forecheck and starting early in this one. Then across the street, right over there at the Beaver Dam High School, or excuse me, I did this earlier today too, Charlie. I suck. It's at Watertown. It's one of the few games that the Beaver Dam boys team will be on Daily Dodge TV that will have the coverage for the road game. That is in enemy territory, Charlie. And it's one, again, that you look at on paper and you're like, the Beaver Dam boys should win this one. But when you're playing a rival team, it always feels like those games are much closer than they probably ought to be. What is it when you go into a game like this where you know you're getting a kitchen sink thrown at you by a Gosling side over there and you have to come out and start fast?
Yeah, I feel like I just get back on the carousel every time I talk about them. Just play your game. Just don't let all the outside stuff affect you, and ultimately just keep doing what you're doing. They're 10-1 for a reason. They're playing their game and they're playing well. You gotta keep it up. It's really all I got.
Well, and it's fun, too, because now with Waunakee, again, taking that loss about a week and a half ago, they are now tied atop the Badger Lord standings, both at 5-1 in conference play, and they have another date with the Warriors coming up, and that feels like it's going to have potential conference championship claims to it. So being able to take care of business in games like this maintains that heightened importance of hopefully that Waunakee game here. And I've got to say, that's got to be coming up. That's coming up January 23rd. We're right around the corner here.
The Monona Grove game?
Or the Waunakee, and I was looking at the Watertown schedule. Hand up, Wade Bates is going to fight me on that one.
Waunakee's is the 29th, so it's
the 29th.
It's still next week.
Watertown has them on the 23rd. A little different.
There you go. Well, hey, it's all right. That's a gauntlet for Watertown. We could talk about the gauntlet they're running.
Hey, I have a gauntlet coming up. Going Beaver Dam to Waunakee in the same week. That's no easy ask over there as well.
Well, it's all right. February is the last month of the season, right? And you got to finish strong, especially for a team that has such high aspirations that they do. So yeah, like you were saying, you got to win the games that you're supposed to, and then ultimately take care of business against the Monona Groves, who they play this week, against Waunakee, who they play next week. They play Whitefish Bay on Saturday.
I was going to say, I didn't know if you were aware of that upcoming matchup.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to go see what's going on with the Blue Dukes. See if they can take down Beaver Dam. Because I know that they did when my little brother was there a couple years ago.
I was going to say, are you going there in your Blue Duke gear? Or would you be there in your Beaver Dam gear? That's the question.
Maybe I'll have to get a split hat, one of those.
Yeah, it's the A.J. Hawk, Brady Quinn situation back in the day, to split jersey.
House divided, one of those.
House divided's good. I was in that same spot. It took until this year because now I have a relationship with the team where Beaver Dam played Arrowhead, and I'm like, I washed my hands, Pontius Pilate. I just pretended like the game wasn't on. I'm like, I can't split allegiances, so I'm just gonna. Good luck.
Yeah, just wear like a WIAA hat.
Yeah, exactly, Rob Lowe style.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're on to something here.
Yeah, one month to go. Bring it home.
Hey, I love to hear it. And it's Tuesday too, so that means we're gonna hear plenty from Ashley Dobrzinski on the other side of the break here, because it's time for Who's Hot, Who's Not. That's going to be coming up on the Dam Sports Show right after the break on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
Here's a look at your weatherology forecast. An extreme cold watch begins at midnight Friday night and continues until noon Saturday. Snow likely tonight, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Lows dip down to about 8 above. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 1 to 3 inches of snow tonight through tomorrow night. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. Currently 8 above.
Keep up to date with all the latest going on in high school athletics across the region by heading to the sports tab at dailydodge.com. Local scores, interviews, and more.
Conference play is here, and every game at the Kohl Center matters. Wisconsin men's basketball kicks off its Big Ten home slate, facing Ohio State, Michigan State, Iowa, and more. Grab single-game tickets to be a part of the action, or elevate your game day with premium seating, including all-inclusive food and beverage, and the best views in the house. Big matchups, Big Ten intensity, the Kohl Center is the place to be. Get your tickets at uwbadgers.com or 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
Meet Bob.
Hello.
Bob used to spend every day and night frustrated dealing with this squeaky, ugly, dysfunctional garage door and opener. But one day, Bob grew wise.
One day, my friend recommended that I call Hometown Glass and Improvement. Now, I have a brand new garage door that's both reliable and beautiful.
But Bob still has one regret. He wishes he got this done sooner. Don't be like Bob. Call Hometown Glass and Improvement at 887-3757 or visit online at hometownglass.com.
Wisconsin winter, where the wind has an attitude and your furnace works overtime. Good news, the team at JB Mechanical is ready to save the day. Whether your furnace is throwing a tantrum or you're ready for a high-efficiency upgrade, they've got you covered. From cozy homes to small businesses and even big industrial spaces, JB Mechanical keeps everyone warm and happy no matter how cold it gets outside. Give JB Mechanical a call and visit jbmechllc.com, turning brr into all winter long. A proud Trane dealer.
Hi, I'm Josh Schneider with Silica for Your Home. We have a great feature available in our showrooms, our digital price tags. They search the internet every day and allow us to adjust the prices based on our competitors. That ensures you are always getting the best deal. If it finds a lower price, it will automatically change our Silica price in real time. These digital price tags are all about saving you time and money. Shop Silica for Your Home for the best sales, service, and selection.
At Grunberg Offices,
We take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
The crowd cheers as Team Hunger takes possession. The ball is snapped and they're stopped at the pantry. No snacks, no brats, no chance.
Ooh, I don't know, Jim. You gotta shop local and save at Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly. That's how contenders prep for game day.
Yes, their brats alone are an MVP, perfectly seasoned and game time ready.
And there's the fresh deli with wings, dips, salads, and more, keeping fans cheering at the snack table.
Make the winning play. Shop the pig in Beaver Dam and Mayville or online at foxbrospigglywiggly.com.
I'm Brad Gazan. On Atlanta United, we know everyone has a ritual. But what do you do to keep your head in the game?
Find mental health resources at georgia.loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Sports, spice, and occasionally nice. You're tuned into The Damn Sports Show, presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun, Dodge County's local sports show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty.
It's time for Who's Hot, Who's Not here on The Damn Sports Show. Wally Lukashinsky, Charlie Dern, Ashley Dobrzinski with you. I'll start today because I take umbrage with what we heard there in the bumper, Charlie, because it says that we're occasionally nice here. No, we hate on this show. And I wanted to start there because I took your New Year's resolution to heart. And after the game that a certain team about an hour and a half, 2 hours south of here participated in over the weekend, I had a lot of fun going through reaction videos on Twitter. And I had one that stuck out to me. I won't say it because it was a young kid's name. I got to watch a young child crying on the ground with a Bears jersey on, and I would be lying to tell you it did not fill me with immense joy.
Yeah, there's an awesome video that's similar to that one from when Randall Cobb hit that game winner on, it was Sunday Night Football, the game that Aaron Rodgers came back from however many years ago, and he's like, Randall Cobb again, and he's crying. It's the best video.
Oh, the part that I love so much about it is like in all the reactions and comments to it, it's like, welcome to the club, man. And I was sitting there like, that is why sports are awesome. Mm-hmm. We all remember those moments lying face first on our carpet, crying at home. Regrettably, that just so happened to happen to this kid on this one.
Yeah, it was me 2 weeks ago.
It was you 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Well, credit to you. You didn't share the video, so I couldn't laugh at you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, videos or it didn't happen.
All right, so
I think we have a video, though, of Charlie crying that we could pull up.
What? Do we have a video of Charlie crying?
We do. We might have to share that next time.
I need to know when this happened. What am I spacing on? Am I aware of this video?
Oh, you're aware.
There's a crying Charlie Dern video out there that I'm aware of that I am somehow spacing on.
I don't know any this.
Dobes, we need a little background here.
Wally, do you remember when you had the idea to make a video for Corey Sparks?
Yes!
Oh, yeah.
It was fake crying, though. I thought we had him sobbing on camera.
It's like 15 seconds. I think we could do it.
You know what? That's good. We can work with anything nowadays. We can make that happen. I cut our order off. I jacked this up, said that I was throwing it to you guys first.
Yeah, you did.
And then I heard the bumper, and I went absolutely hijacked the car.
Stay hot.
Stay hot. So, speaking of staying hot, I'll let Charlie go first, and we'll go to Dobes, who will wrap it around here. Who's hot, Charlie?
Yeah, we ended up talking about it. I have Wisconsin football, and then parentheses hope. Just the idea.
Hope is hot.
Just the idea of having hope. It's a great feeling. It's a dangerous feeling. I know that for sure. But we ultimately have a top 15 transfer portal class, which I now view as way more important than your recruiting class. That's true. Am I wrong?
I know that had it been the exact opposite direction, you would have been sitting here telling me the exact opposite. Well, the transfer portal is just a transfer portal.
No.
I mean, you're telling me that if the Badgers were top or 15 in recruiting rankings and then they were like 60th in transfer, that you would not have an entirely different tune on this?
You know better than anyone recruiting doesn't matter anymore. You buy your roster in college sports now.
We do. I was going to say, even so, we're looking at a team that this year Ohio State's way down the transfer portal. I'm not panicking.
Yeah, so it's about buying the talent that you're getting, and we're in top 15 and doing that right now. So we're staying hot. Indiana just won. They're 24-year-old players on their team. They got a lot of them through the portal.
AARP's card right there.
A lot of them through the portal.
Dobes, who's hot for you?
Well, I'm similar to you. I think the Rams beating the Bears was actually phenomenal, and hate watching that game. Amazing.
We all texted him it couldn't have been more than 30 seconds at the end of the game, just like 1 or 2 word quibs, and it was like, that's enough.
It's everything that I'm not really used to hate watching. Like, I know that, and I don't mean to dunk on the Bears fans. They ultimately beat us. It felt really good to do it, and then getting the text afterwards like, well, we beat the Packers twice this year.
What a season is what I kept saying. How sad is that?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately they did have a better year than the Packers. Yeah, I'll say it.
Nobody was going to deny that, but at the same time, if you're in Cancun the week after, where did the celebration stop?
There were some great Ben Johnson, Matt LaFleur memes.
Cancun on 3? Well, all right. Well, let's wrap it around. Couple minutes left. Dobes, we'll stick with you. Who's not this week?
People who park too close to you when there's open spots.
Even if that person is over the line themselves?
I was on the line.
Oh.
Okay, and granted, it was my fault. I should not have been on the line. However...
Charlie, if you have a foot out of bounds, is it a catch?
This is mental gymnastics. What are we doing here?
Okay.
Even though I was in the wrong, this person was also in the wrong?
No. I was the YMCA background. YMCA, 6 a.m. Went to work out. The YMCA is not plowed.
Sick flex.
It's not plowed completely. So you can't really see the lines. You can only see hints. And it's dark. So I parked. This guy, and I'm telling you, there were a lot of open spots. It wasn't like I just, parked right next to each other. There was a lot of open spots. He parked right next to me. I almost could not get into my car. Just pick a new spot.
To the verdict. Jury?
No.
Who's at fault here? Both?
They're both at fault. Why are you taking up 2 spots?
I wasn't taking up 2 spots. I was on the line.
But you were just asking that someone not park next to you because you wanted to have that room.
Well, I wanted to be able to get into my car.
You strike me as a person that would have an Escalade that's parked in between 2 spots, perfect.
That sounds like what she was doing.
Yeah, and she's like, I can't believe somebody parked next to me.
Yeah.
Well, I can't. There were a million spots in that parking lot, and you're gonna park right next to me and not even give me space. Whatever, it's fine. Let's move on.
Charlie, it's not.
The SEC.
It just means more though.
No, it no longer does. The Big Ten, we were talking about that pre-show. The Big Ten does need to bring in their own saying now, because 3 years running now, we're the champions of the world.
We're the big dog on the junkyard right now.
World champions.
3 straight times. How about last one before we leave? Apparently, you and I don't know how to dress. We heard that earlier in the pre-show. What?
I did not say you guys didn't know how to dress.
Sandwich theory.
I told you about the sandwich theory, which. By the way, neither one of you do. So.
Well, we didn't know about the sandwich.
Well, now we know, and we were told.
I brought it up to Charlie before the show, and he was like, "I've heard of it." Obviously not.
Well, I haven't. I've heard about the you kind of coordinate the top and the shoes maybe, or the pants and some. I've heard about that. I didn't know it was called the sandwich theory.
I wasn't trying to say that you guys don't have fashion.
But you did say that.
Well, because you guys were like, "Oh, I've never heard of it," and I was like, "Obviously," which I think was valid.
Well, we'll have to revisit this because my feelings are hurt, Charlie.
Well, maybe we'll need. When you guys show up in, a whole different outfit tomorrow, people are going to be thanking me. So you're welcome.
I might make this a bit and just go complete grunge.
Just grab outfits only.
Sweatpants here tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you guys in those. Back tomorrow, same time, same place with another edition of the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
You got me. The galaxy is safe once again.
Sometimes kids play with pretend guns. It's up to us to make sure they don't play with real ones. Keep yours.